Yo, welcome back. What it do, everybody? Wagwan. Good day. So today, working on a little Gen Z series that's for generations, where I'm going to talk about things about from my generation and the next, what for they can prepare for, what life looking like, what the future is looking like, things like that. I'm 22 right now. I'm out here doing my thing. Anyone that's watching this might be a little bit older, probably a little bit younger, either or. We'll see. Channel steadily growing, finally hit 440 followers, subscribers. Don't forget to like and subscribe, please, right? It really helps a lot with growth and, making it. So, I'm playing Fortnite right now, by the way, as I tell the story. So, back in college, right, I just want to tell my story. I feel like, because I've been single for 3 years, and I reflected back on all my, past things to, really learn about myself and become a better guy for myself and for anyone I'm involved with in the future, whether it be friends, family, spouses, girls, things like that, right? And then there's a bunch of guys on YouTube giving dating advice and shit like that, right? So I made it to college, right? I was on scholarship. I had FAFSA. I did hella shit when I went to college. I knew, I followed, the little show they talk about, joined clubs, did sports, tried the best as I could in my classes, did essays, things like that. Went to college, on my shit, repeated the same thing I did in high school, going through it, I'm more of a shy guy. I was kind of grown up introverted. I was never really born introverted, but I was forced into the introvert lifestyle, right? So when I got to college and I was kind of on my own, it was total vibe change for me. Couple months into college, I'm hanging out with my homegirls from my building, and they introduced me to their friend Ray. Bad little John, right? Bad little Indian, Guyanese shorty. Shoot. Literally one of those girls you kind of think about, in high school when you're growing up, damn, that's one of those girls that'll pass the vibe check, or at least the look check. You know what I mean? And oh shoot, I unlocked this 8-ball character. Yo, it's been so while since I played Fortnite. I'm getting back into it because I don't waste my money on Battle Pass, right? Not Battle Pass, Xbox Live right now. Yeah, so we're boxing, right? And then it's crazy how we do it. So just for advice for talking to girls, talking to guys, literally just speak, yo. If you say something stupid, it literally is just something to laugh at. Whether you're one-on-one, whether in a group, you can laugh at it yourself, or they can laugh at it for you. I would usually you kind of want to let them laugh first. But if you laugh, naturally, uncontrollably, just laugh, it's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? It's natural. They'll laugh too. They're like, oh, you're so stupid. Or you could be like, oh, I'm so stupid. I crack myself up. I literally say that all the time. All the time. And we're vibing. So she's driving. The universe working in my favor, right? Of course, I'm a Libra with this shit. I'm sitting right behind her. So, we're smoking, we're talking. Next thing you know, I'm zooted. Looking out the window, I start looking at nature and shit. I look at the clouds. Either I said something about the tree or she said something about the tree. Or we all was just talking about the tree. And the clouds were like, yo, what does that look like? Da 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 da. And then me and her were talking about how it looks like an elephant. Yeah, that's an elephant. Da 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 da. Some simple like that, And then she's smiling, she's relaxed. I'm relaxed, I'm vibing, and after a while, you guys become unconscious and you're just yapping at each other. Maybe a little bit conscious, but you're getting in the groove of things. So I'm of course, I'm not gonna let this bitch I'm not gonna waste my time. And this was way before I was really a stepper, real deal stepping. Got her Snapchat, right? So I got her Snapchat. And that was a process. It took me 3 weeks to finally set up a thing so I can link up with her and we vibe out or whatever. Bah, 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 bah. Ooh, first kill. Where you going, shit? I'm on his ass. So, right. So Shorty finally lets me link up with her. I mean, finally, like after 2 weeks. I think it's like borderline Halloween, and then we said we are gonna do like some Halloween shit. Oh, we did a PJ date, a PJ hotbox date, cause we were both some potheads. We were both some potheads. We're like, let's do like a little PJ thing. We smoke, you know, watch a movie or whatever. That's what it is. So then when we went to vibe out or whatever, literally we vibed for like 2-3 hours in the car, like just talking about everything. And you know, I wasn't scared. You know, I was like, fuck it. You know, get to know her. You know, I wasn't really like holding anything back. I was just like, yo, this is what it is. X, Y, and Z. This is who I am. We were just sharing little things with each other, just so, you know, the other person get perspective like where you came from, because, you know, nowadays, as long as you're not like an ignorant ass person, we know that like your life experiences, what you learn, your culture, that's what really makes you what you are. And oop, footsteps. Found that bitch ass nigga. Okay, my bad. 2 kills in right now, by the way. So then, Shorty gonna, yeah, so we're vibing 2 hours. We smoke. She told me she can't roll. That becomes one of her biggest things. We were just vibing, you know, we were talking. Took her back to the crib. We started watching a little scary movie. You know, didn't get in her pants or whatever. You know, try to get some smooches and shit like that, little shit like that. You know, maybe I tried a little bit. I'm a guy. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? I'm not fucking gay. You know what I mean? Maybe if I was like a virgin or something, but no, I'm not. So I was like, yo, what's Gucci? You know, it's Gucci McTucci. So then she let me in or whatever. So I was like, okay, that's cool, that's the vibe. You know, we'll link up again, right after I slid. And next thing I know, you know, it's like a day or 2 later, 3 days later, because we were vibing heavy. We were kissing. We were just totally agreeing, like, oh, you're such a vibe. You're different. It's like it was just like something we never seen before. Now we're both really attractive people, right? I want to take forever in this video. So we're both really attractive people. So, you know, we're highly, you know, highly desired, highly favored. So of course we have higher standards, more reserved, you know, and we took time to get to know each other. So next thing we know, I'm pulling up on boy Jadev. You guys know Jadev, or you will know Jadev. It's my fucking brother, bro, since middle school. Pulling up to his crib at the new apartments at FAU, and this thing I know, she's walking with her homegirl. She was like, oh, you know, it happened for a reason, right? We ran into each other. She's like, oh my gosh, we should just start dating now. And I was just like, I was just like, I sized her. You know, I'm a little confident, but I wasn't that confident in myself. I was like, you want to date me? I was like, shit, all right. All right, for sure. We can do it. We can do that. No problem. No problem. So basically, she asked me out, right? She fucking asked me out. Now we're dating and shit. We're getting to it. You know, all lovey-dovey, X, Y, and Z. You know, we dated. We never got in arguments, like, ever. I don't think we ever, like, fought about anything. And we had, like, some disagreements, but, like, you know, we just talk about it like any normal person, and, you know, figure out what we have in common. Then, Shorty. So a little bit like down the road. So we were macking one day in our room, and we were just talking, you know, it was kind of like falling more in love with each other or whatever. And she brought up marriage, and she was like, what's your opinion on marriage? Like, do you want to get married? Like, would you get married one day? I was like, yeah. She was like, do you think you're gonna marry me? And I was like, in the moment, she caught me off guard. I was like, marriage, like, holy shit. I'm not gonna lie, like, I had confidence, you know, but I didn't have that much confidence. And I was like, I mean, yeah, if you think I'm marriage material, I don't really see why not. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll marry you. And like after that, like, you know, she kind of got in my head a little bit. And next thing you know, I'm thinking about like, dang, am I gonna marry this girl? Right? And then after a while, you know, it kind of got to me, and I was like, you know, fuck it, you know, meditated on it, spoke to God about it. He was like, nigga, why not? Like, you're already in college. You got the girl, just focus on the money and the school. And I was like, shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, sex, whatever. I got someone to go on dates with, someone to do cringy shit with, someone I can get emotional with, all that. Don't gotta like be like a hard ass thing 24/7. I was like, let me get all that. Like there's just so much like difference when you have like that girl in your life, bro. Like you become like a lot less toxic. Life just feels more plentiful. You know, you're not so crazy. You know, you're not just out here getting blacked out drunk every day, doing the same thing for a loop, going in a loop. Like, life wasn't like passing me by. Like, I feel more like I was progressing. You know, on top of like school and shit like that, right? And all that extra shit. So, shorty. So Thanksgiving break comes or whatever. Thanksgiving break comes. I go on a cruise, right? A cruise is crucial to the story because, you know, of course, if I'm dating someone, I'm gonna, you know, put her out there a little bit. You know, I'm a little more key with it, but at the time I was like, yo, fuck it. You know, I got my shorty or whatever. I was really proud. So I was showing like my family members in down the cruise. I showed my one aunt on my mom Duke's side. You know, she's like, oh, who is she? What's her sign? Oh, she's a Pisces. And she looked at her page, and she like that. She was like, honestly, Jaden, just looking at her and what I know, she's most likely always thinking about herself. She probably won't really listen to you that much, and she'll most likely leave you randomly, like quickly, the way she described it. This just is how I interpreted it. And yeah, she's gonna leave you like when she's ready and not really like consider your feelings or maybe even explain to you type of deal, right? Really, the only reason like it just seems like I'm telling the stories because this is what's trippy about it, because it was like we were always like just, you know, in that honeymoon stage. We do have our disagreements, but we talk about it, you know, and depending on like who's like really taking lead like in that moment, they end up being decision maker, right? Like food, I'm gonna let her pick one because she was a Muslim, right? She practiced and all that, plus her Hindu side stuff. So I was like, you know, plus she was like slightly vegan but not really vegan. I kind of feel bad because I had her eating chicken and shit every now and then, but because I eat meat everything. So I'm a guy. Right? We need our protein, quick muscles. Eat muscle, get muscle. You are what you motherfucking eat. Next thing you know, of course, you're like, oh, I'm gonna be gone. She's like, oh, well, I'm gonna be with my family anyways. Next thing you know, of course, we get in. You know what I'm saying? Them sweet watery guts. Right before the cruise. You know, it was very passionate and all that. You know, lovebird shit. Turns out like either the condom broke or I didn't really pull out, or I don't even know, because we'd be going rounds. We had a little system, but whenever we felt we was going rounds, it was never pump and dump, right? We were just And that's how you know you have like a really good connection, right? It's like you go rounds, you know, you just want to keep going. I mean, not everyone can really go rounds because you don't have the endurance, but hey, running really helps, right? Pacing yourself during sex helps to go rounds, switching positions, things like that. Foreplay is, doing foreplay in the middle of having sex, just stopping, getting back into foreplay, then, getting back into it. Yeah, so it turns out Shorty got pregnant or whatever. Like, I didn't find that out till Christmas time, though. We were like, what the fuck? She was like, oh. It was like a week before Christmas break. She was like, babe, I think I'm pregnant. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, it's been a while, and I was like, I was just like, nah, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. But yo, Shorty ended up actually being pregnant, right? So this is where the baby mama part comes in. So, woo! He almost killed me, y'all. He almost killed me. The motherfucker almost got me. Ooh. Anyways, yeah, so Christmas time comes. I found out she's pregnant, right? And this is when, all you heard all the time and when we talked about like gender roles, feminist shit was, your body, your choice, right? So Shorty had so I was like, I'm in college, I don't really got money like that. Your parents are pretty strict. My parents are pretty strict. I'm like, are we doing this? Are we about to have a baby? I was like, I honestly can't make a decision. I'm a guy. In my perspective on like guys and gender roles, I was like, hey man, like if you want it, babe, if you want it, you got it. It's your body, your choice. Abortion wise, your choice. Everyone knows that there's possible side effects for those. So I was like, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. And then baby wise is like, I don't know shit about having a baby, but shit, if we could have a baby, shit. I mean, like, I was thinking like, oh, I'm gonna need some money. I'm in college. College gonna be really hard. I might have to drop out of college. But that's really it, honestly. And then we were talking about it. She's like, well, what are you gonna do? I was like, I don't know. And then she was crying and shit because she was, she's fucking pregnant and right and at a young age. And I wasn't thinking. I should have been thinking clearly, bro. Like if you feel the girl, bro, like honestly, I would just have the kid, bro. Like, that shit was so bad, bro. I should have just had the kid, yo. And because it's not like I did not like her, right? Yo, they're fighting somewhere. I'm gonna have to edit this video. I can't just upload this one. Where's that? Oh yeah, so we ended up having an abortion, guys, and it was rough, right? Little note, if you're a pothead, and you go to the doctor and you're doing, any of that type of like work and stuff like that, just let you know, make sure you let the doctor know you smoke because the doctors didn't give her enough like numbing shit and she ended up feeling like a lot of it and it was really bad. That shit like haunted me as her boyfriend, right, for a minute. Like a fat minute. That haunted the fuck out of me. Cause I was just like, yo. Woo! Just won that shit. I just won that shit. Shot that motherfucker straight to a fucking dome, nigga. But anyways, regardless of the fact we still broke up later down the road. So kind of happy we didn't have the baby, but at the same time, could have been my girl. you know. So don't understand that part. And then moving forward, you know, we went through a lot, and when it comes to relationships and marriages, like it's a good thing to wait like years and like years or time, because the reason why they say to wait so long is because you, as you go through life, you experience different things, and like we went through a lot in a short amount of time, right? And when you're going through those different things, you can see how each person handles it, how we complement each other, you know, if we're flowing correctly or if we're just contradicting. Because if we're just contradicting, whenever we have issues, it's never gonna get solved. It's never gonna get solved. And like it's just a lot more shit happened right down the road. So that happened, and but after that, it just kind of broke down the wall for us. You know, became a lot more. We became even more open with each other, more in love. It's like, oh my god, we almost had a baby, da da da. And now we having like baby talks way more often. Because I remember she told me she wanted 6 kids. I'm like, 6 kids? How much money that is? So a nigga, and especially a guy who's a finance major, immediately my brain went to calculating. I'm like, 6 kids, on average you want like 300K per kid, you know, for the whole life. And I'm just like, fuck, 300K. I'm like, I know, apparently I met a guy, he's like an ex-cop. He's like, you really don't need like 118 from like 1 to 18 years old. You only need like $118,000. But at the same time, to me, that's still scary. It's so scary. In my head, I had learned from one of my other mentors, I guess you would call them, or I'll call them elders. I prefer to call them elders. Is we're gonna make $64,000 a year for 2 kids, and this includes daycares and other shiznit like that, right? I was making like $8,000 a year, you know. So I was like, for me to go out and just like have a fucking kid or something would be insane. It would be fucking insane. That was dumb. So we almost had a baby, and then after that, it became a little bit more open. Like, damn, Kim, we just did that. But, you know, we moved on. Christmas happened. Me and Artie got close. I started getting close to her family a little bit back, like her cousins and things like that, because ideally that's what you want to do when you're dating someone. That's what you want to do when you're taking someone serious. That's how I became like open to like plan B's and sing like plan B's and things like that. We're just, you know, we'll plan a little 3-day, you know, like vacation, and, you know, go in and pop a perky, right? Moving on, you know, later down the road, we was just vibing. We ended up getting in trouble for some shit. You know, I got arrested video. It's probably be up there, right? That explains how we got arrested. That shit happened, but she didn't getting up in trouble. It put her through some shit. And it put her through some shit with her family, but nothing too crazy, right? You know, I took the fall and all that shit for her because, you know, even though I'm a black kid, I was like, bro, it's just weed, and I love this girl, and I want to go somewhere in life with this girl, and it's easy for a guy to just get up and work, but I don't want to make her life any harder, especially when we used to hear about how hard it is for, like, females to get jobs and get good paying jobs and stuff like that. Like, my brain calculates all that really quick, you know? I'm kind of like on autopilot at this point. I'm always going through autopilot, and my software or my consciousness just gets upgraded as I go through life. That's why I feel like these videos are so useful, because I could put people on game that I've learned and experiences that I've learned myself, right? And it's funny because the whole time I was dating her, it was such a trip. It was like one of her roommates had a boyfriend that's been together since high school. One of her roommates is just like that one girl that's on and off with a bunch of guys, and then has that one guy that she's always on and off with, talks shit about, but she's still kind of obsessed with. You have the other roommate, which is kind of the ugly one, which is like really weird, and everyone's just like, you know what I mean? Like, ooh, like, hey, yeah, hey, how you doing? Da, da, da. You okay? For sure. Yeah, you know, but you don't even talk to her, right? That bitch was nasty. That bitch was nasty. That was a nasty bitch. And then the whole like abortion, plan B's, that's how she became my baby mama, right? And we never had the baby in a sense, but it was conceived many times. Many times. It all went downhill when like after my school year was over, I was suspended from like campus housing. And we both decided to move back to Orlando with our families. I was like, man, I got a girl or whatever. I was like, my dad's business isn't that hard. I was honestly just gonna try and start my own business, get into things like real estate, everything, all that money making shit that you see or that you know, like how people make money. I was getting into all that. I was trying to create my own online store, shop in clothes. Yeah, but it's not breakups. So this is our breakup story. I don't know why I'm trying to give you guys like the whole thing, but the way we broke up was a complete mess, right? It was solely uncalled for. It was so weird. We're both home now, and I had just taught her, like she's home at her crib, I'm at my crib. It became a lot harder to see each other. So we only got to see each other like when we could. Like my dad's like really he's like really overprotective and like strict, and then she told me like her parents were not that different. So it was really hard for us to see each other, right? Especially after like what just happened with school. So I would just pull up to her crib whenever I could, really. I had just taught her to learn stick shift or whatever, and I was back home working. I had told her that, I haven't seen my mom in a while, and after the whole like getting arrested situation, I just felt like it was a good time to like just go see her again and let her know I'm on Gucci. So I save up, right? And I'm saving up to go to Jamaica. I let her know I'm going to Jamaica. And then I book a trip for like a month. Why a month? It's been forever since I went back to yard. I just want to spend some time because in my head, I knew it was just game time. Like I had my game plan. No one really knew my game plan, but it was my plan. No one, like if you didn't ask, it was just like why tell? Like if you really want to know, you would have asked me. And so I was telling people. Yeah, so I was like, hey mom, What? That's lame as fuck. He was right in front of me. Okay, yeah, so I went back to Jamaica for a month, right? And then we were in the airport, right? And we were just talking for like hours before my flight, macking heavy. And she was like, oh, I love you so much. I miss you. I can't believe you're going to Jamaica for a month. And she seemed really sad about it, like really, really sad. I was like, babe, at the time, I'm like only seeing you like maybe once or twice per month, right? So what if I'm in Jamaica? We could FaceTime, we could text, I could show you all around. You get to see what my home's like, where I'm from, where my people's from. She's like, oh no, I just wish I could come with you, Dad. I was like, yo. I literally just checked my bank account and I was like, I'll buy you a flight. I was like, you wanna come for real? Like, I'll buy you a flight right now. She was like, right? And then that caught her off guard, but like, I just let her know, like, I'm dead ass, like you're my babe, right? You know what I mean? You're my wifey. Like, come on, wanna go? Let's go, right? Shorty, pushes out. Of course, you know she was a little softy, and she stays back, right? And then, you know, of course, she brought up like her parents, used her parents as an excuse, but like at the time, like I didn't really know how to sell her on that because whenever my parents like trip or give me a hard time, I just say fuck it, I give up, like whatever, right? Because they're your parents, you know. It's not like a person. You go back and forth with like some other old guy that I may be talking to, but like my mom or my dad, I'm not gonna go back and forth with them. So shorty, so next thing you know, I'm out here in fucking Jamaica, right? Fucking mountain with my mom and shit. Next thing you know, I get a text, right? While I'm on vacation, catching up with my mom, who I haven't seen in years. I mean, fucking years, right? Because she's in another country, right? She can't come back over here. She doesn't have like a visa or anything like that. We can't just cop her a flight. Like, life just wasn't like that at the time, right? Right. She texts me at 4 o'clock in the morning, yo. I mean, like 4 in the morning, on some bullshit. How she's been meditating and contemplating, and she just doesn't think it's gonna like work anymore, yada yada yada, because of some hoopla, right? What hoopla she's talking about, I don't know. And what justification she thought it wasn't working anymore, I don't know, right? Like, she was just like, no, she didn't give me no explanation. I was like, I just don't understand. Da da da. She, you know, of course, she didn't really text me back. I could probably pull it up on my laptop, really. Let's see if I could pull it up. She was just like, I've been meditating and contemplating. I just don't think this is gonna work out anymore. I'm like, bro, like immediately it's just like, yo, who got in your head, right? Was it like some of your family members? Was it your cousins? I'm like, literally, I'm just with my mom Dukes right now. Like, what happened? Never cheated. Never caught me talking to other bitches. Once I was with Ray, I was done. I was on my grind. I was on my school. I was about my money. I was spending time with my friends and shit. And for her to just break up with that, it was really lost. I was like, bro, there has to be like another guy like that like swooped in or something, which is really weird because she acts like she was super loyal and complained about her old boyfriend, even though he was like trash compared to me, was cheating on her and a horrible guy. So I'm like, yo, like what the fuck like what the fuck did I do? And that just shows like when you're young, you know, like things like that does happen. You know, we're fucking 19, 20 at the time. But it was just like, yo, she was just definitely like all talk, yo. Like the whole time I didn't realize it, I was dating like a big ass capper, yo. Huge fucking capper, yo. Huge capper. Then later down the road, and this is like that fugazi shit. I hope like no one else is be on this shit. Once you watch this shit, you learn this shit. Cause like when I finally like got it out of her, I was like, why you broke up with me? Cause it's like she just broke with me like, oh, I don't really want to do this anymore. We're done. And then she moved on. It's funny because remember I mentioned that cruise back in November? My aunt had warned me that she was just gonna leave me one day, not justify it, and break my heart. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, she's only gonna think about herself, bro. She's just gonna like break up with you and move on, bro. Like, don't even take it for just because she's a Pisces, right? And I was like, all right. I was like, I guess, mom. I was like, I guess, auntie. And then yeah, and yo, we broke up, never got back together, any of that shit, at all, at all. Right. So the moral of the video is a few things, right? One, dating over sleeping around any day. Any day. Like the time that you would take to go out to the club, swipe on Tinder, getting to know a person over and over and over again. It's just really time consuming, especially when you're not on your shit yet, in your dream job. You're still studying, you're in school. Like the whole searching for bitches at the same time, unless you're one of those persons that just get something like that. I'm sorry for bitches. Females, searching for females or searching for guys, like don't waste your time. If you're a girl, bro, speak up. Speak up. Like for me, so many other guys, like we've experienced the fact that like whenever we're like in person with them, like you hear guys call girls lame all the time, right? Because when they're in the face of a guy, they become quiet. They want the guy to make all the decisions. It's like it's like, come on, like what are you? You know? Are you a person? Like, do you exist? You know, you see a lot of couples, whenever there's a couple, right? A lot of times it's like the guy and the girl just kind of absorbs and conforms to what the guy is. Like it's crazy. Like where's the individuality? You know what I mean? And then when girls do that, like usually a lot of times those are the girls that get cheated on. Why? Because the guy just feels like he's with himself, probably. Right? I can say that. I'm not a cheater. But busy.
Alright. We're looking for the mail key though.
I have no idea. Roommates. But yeah. So, you know, have a preference. Have a type. Don't have a type, I have a preference. Right? Type is more mental. Preference is looks. Then don't be scared to be wrong. You know, if you're wrong, laugh it off, correct yourself. Right? Don't be scared to take a risk. Like that 7 months you spend with maybe one or two people will level up your future experiences, because you know in that time, spending that consistent time on like with one person, one thing, to where like you guys won't repeat so many of those little events over and over again, you know. Like imagine every time you got in your car you had to change your oil, compared to you just changing your oil one time. You know what I mean? Like that will make you grow so much as a person. It will bring you so much further closer to the person that you want to be, or that you're going to become, right? It's either you have someone you want to become, or you're just going through life and you're developing as it goes. Okay? All right? And so what was that? Dating, marriage, baby mamas, sex and other videos. All right. That's a pretty long video, but I'm gonna get into it again. Take care.